in the city here, but
there's no camping in the parking lot.
well, this is not good at all. This is very, very bad. Very bad.
Hey friend, good morning. I'm super pumped, and I want you to bear with me here at the beginning of this video so that way you understand the context for the rest of this video as you kind of dive into things here. But I am this morning embarking on Levi's big solo van life road trip thingy. I think that's what we're gonna call it. It's gonna be a series of videos where I'm gonna take you along with me on whatever it is that this trip ends up becoming. I am super fired up for it, and let me tell you what it's all about. Okay, so very early this morning, I woke up my beautiful wife Janelle at 4 o'clock, kicked her out of bed, and I took the van, took a ferry, and I'm now heading on my way to Whistler. But the reason why I kicked Janelle out of the bed was because she, later in the day, is leaving on her own work trip with her job. And I was trying to think, what should I do when Janelle's gone? And we shot this clip where we were talking through this last night, and she was suggesting some ideas of where I could maybe drive, and it was a wonderful clip, but I didn't have my mic turned on. And maybe that's gonna be a nice foreshadowing / segue into the vibe that this video series will be, where I'm gonna go more the vloggy, chatty vibe on this series. And if you're into that, I'm gonna try to share some of my thoughts about what I've been learning lately and thinking about just the creation process and some of those things. And when I meet people, I'm probably not gonna throw the camera in their face right away. So just know that my priority is the human experience. And then later, after these adventures, I'm probably gonna try recap some of the conversations we had. So that's kind of the style going into this. And if you're down, I'd love to take you with me. How great is this? Waking up, this beautiful hut right there. Probably the nicest backcountry hut I've ever seen in my life. It's more of a backcountry palace, if anything. There's about 40 people that were sleeping in there last night. But waking up here is pretty special. We're on the lower end of the Spearhead Traverse in the South Coast Mountains. So last night we started over by Whistler there, took up some of the chairlifts to gain a lot of elevation. And we just did a lovely little tour into here last night. And it's about that time of day where we're gonna go find some hills to do laps on. It's beautiful. Amazing. How you doing this morning, Mr. Ryan?
Amazing. Pretty lucky to be here. And right behind you, probably one of the coolest huts I've ever stayed at. It's only $45 a night.
I think you can enter in through the top of it there if you want to, but okay, I say go for it. So pumped. A great finish to a wonderful camping trip up here. Doesn't even count as a camping trip though, because that lodge was so luxurious. But this is beautiful. that experience right there is a fantastic way to start this trip. It's a good example to me because I hardly brought out my camera at all, so I don't really know what moments I pieced together for you to experience, but that was exactly the vibe of adventure I wanted to have so far to kick off this trip, where yeah, I bring cameras with me everywhere because I enjoy making videos. I truthfully think it adds to the experience for me. But just getting to hang out with Ryan, Chris, and Eve there was a lot of fun for me. That was a pretty life-giving way to start off this trip. And chatting with Ryan. Ryan runs a YouTube channel as well, and I think he said he's gonna put out a video from this experience from his perspective. So I'll link his channel down below so you can go find that. But just chatting with Ryan about the balance between when do you pull out cameras, when do you not, when it's something that you truthfully get enjoyment out of doing, what does that mean for your life, and how do you find fulfillment in experiences with friends and make sure you're not ruining it by having a camera there. And that was pretty special for me. So now I'm gonna head south. We're gonna head into the United States of America. I'm gonna go to Seattle tonight, hopefully. Then I'm gonna make it up tomorrow morning about where I'm gonna drive after that, because I still don't know if I'm gonna drive the coast or I want to go down to Utah. I think that's something I want to do on this trip, and I think I want to go to Southern California. Okay, here in Seattle. Spent the night here last night. Gonna try and meet up with some people. Not really sure what's going on in the city here, but
There's no camping in the parking lot.
what's up, Caleb?
What's up? This van deserves its own camping spot everywhere it goes. I love this van so much. Like, I followed the whole build series, the whole Alaska journey. I have a van myself, not a 6 Sprinter, but it's fun. Yeah. Oh yeah. Every day.
So you might recognize Caleb from the Moment YouTube channel. Makes a lot of the content over there. Sick filmmaker.
Thank you. I'm blowing out the background. Crap.
Always got to put the curtain up. I'm like terrified that the van's gonna get broken into.
Am I beautiful? You want to take a photo? Oh, skirt. Honestly, looks pretty good.
Which phone is this?
S20 Ultra.
S20 Ultra.
What do you usually do on your channel?
Adventures.
All right, today we're not gonna do that. We're gonna do the opposite of adventure.
So these boys are shooting a video on this S10 Ultra.
S20.
S20 Ultra?
20.
Look at all those lenses.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's a chunky boy.
Wow.
So it's got a big zoom lens, eh?
Big old zoom. Well, it's a small old zoom, but it goes a big long distance. And so we'll do the full gamut here. Ultra wide.
Whoa.
1x.
Whoa.
2x.
Whoa.
4.
Whoa.
10x.
Woohoo.
30x. And wait for it.
Wait.
A hundo.
What?
Dude.
Where even is that? That's
It's the
over there
flag.
somewhere?
It's the flag. So
And I'm still trying to figure out what it is that I'm even doing on this road trip, because I basically just left British Columbia, started heading south, and haven't made any plans beyond that. I just know that I'm gonna try and meet up with some people and keep driving. So I don't know what kind of videos I'm gonna make on this trip. I don't know who I'm gonna see. I'm kind of in that place where there's no real clear direction right now, but I'm starting to put out some of those feelers to see who's available to maybe meet up and do something. Maybe I'll go snowboarding, surfing. Who really knows at this point? So it's kind of that excitement right before a road trip, but it's the kind of road trip where I haven't planned anything at all and I'm making it up as I go. And maybe I'll just end up meeting up with people and having conversations. Or maybe I'll just make some videos. I don't really know yet. So I've been driving east now from Seattle, a couple hours into the mountains here. It's looking really beautiful. I'm gonna be making my way down into Oregon, I think. hopefully either tonight or early tomorrow. I don't really like the idea of driving too far tonight, so we'll kind of see how much further I make it here and find a nice spot to camp for the night. The roads are really beautiful right now though. I've made it to Bend. I do not have good news. I'm at the tire shop right now because my passenger side rear wheel was leaking like crazy this morning. I went and swapped it for the spare. That was leaking like crazy. So I've come here to the tire shop in hopes to find out why my tires were leaking a lot. It was very hard to see where the air was coming from. Tire shop didn't have good news for me.
The wrecking yard has one, but I can't get it here till Wednesday.
Right.
It's home in the same scenario, and it's almost the same price. It's $180.
Uh-oh. Things are not going great. We've got our first real problem of the trip. So I've got two wheels, my spare and the one that was on there, that are both losing air out of the wheel, which I've never seen before in my life, but there's like a seam where there's some welds and there's these little spot holes that air's coming out of. So I came to the tire shop here in hopes that they'd have some spare wheels for me. Alas, they do not. It is Saturday. Anything would have to get ordered in. So now I'm in this unique position where I'm trying to figure out where on my route to get the wheels, the replacement wheels shipped to. What wheels do I get? Where do I ship them to? And how long do I risk driving on a wheel that has pinhole air leaks that I need to constantly be feeling? That is now the new dynamic dilemma of the day. I wouldn't say that I'm stressed. I would more just say that I'm a little bit annoyed. I'm gonna make my way now up to Mount Bachelor ski area, and that's where we're gonna spend the night. Hopefully I don't have to pull over too many times to fill up my tire. It's snowing outside. This is awesome. I'm camped up at the ski hill. The heater is pumping. Oh man, this is pretty rad. I'm very excited for tomorrow. But as I get ready for bed here, I'm pretty tired. I was just doing some work on my computer, and I thought it would be a good chance to let you know kind of some of the behind the scenes of what actually it takes to do some of these mobile adventure stuff. So obviously I'm editing what ends up on the YouTube channel, and that's a part of what I do. But I also run a production company. I do my workshops, and I sell merchandise on the website. And so while I'm on these trips, like there's things that I'm doing on the computer, which is why it's helpful for me to have a good working environment while I'm on the road, because it can take me so long to get into a focused session. So if I've got a routine and a system built up, it can help me be just right. It allows me to just get into work quicker. And one of the pieces that helps me be more efficient with running the business is actually through the sponsor of this video. So while I've been sitting here checking my email and things like that, I'm seeing that orders are coming through on my website. I'm selling t-shirts, I'm selling hats, and then I'm also getting emails about upcoming client projects and potential sponsorships for future videos, and people asking when my next workshops are, and that's all coming through on my Squarespace website. And so what I love about this is that it helps me to streamline my business life. So I'm not a web developer. I don't have experience coding websites. Yet here I am being able to update and make changes on my own personal website that lets people know what it is that I do and how they can hire me for future projects. Because a big part of what I do is my production company work. So if you have an idea that you want to get out there, I strongly recommend having a website so that way people can actually find out what it is that you do. And so you can add all sorts of rad built-in features for e-commerce, for scheduling meetings, for contact forms. There's a lot of various ways that you can get your website set up. So if you're wanting to get your idea out there, I recommend heading over, starting a free trial, and using my code for 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain.
Good morning, dude. What's up? Ready to rip?
Ready to rip.
The snow was coming down a little bit last night, and the wind has kind of moved it around here. But I'm excited to try some of this dry snow because all of our snow on the coast has been so wet because of the warm temperatures. Anyhow, I'm just complaining. But I bought a lift pass this morning, and it was $129. That is officially the most expensive lift pass I have ever purchased. And hopefully that means I have more fun, right? That's what that means when you pay more for the pass, you have more fun.
Is your smoothie's freezing to itself?
I don't know what's happening.
I find no luck in wishing well. This road I'm on ain't no sure way to beat the struggle. There's a price to pay. Ain't no brick walls surrounding me. I'm breaking these chains and I'm running free. Oh, there may be mountains or hills to climb, but it's now or never to win this fight. Yeah. I gotta win this fight. Gonna face some music before I lose it. And I gotta do this while I'm alive. Gonna face some music. It's time to prove it. I'm making history while I'm alive. 'Cause now's my time. Oh, now's my time. Yeah, now's my time. Now's my time.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, bud.
Dude, what a day.
I'm so thrilled getting to hang with Kyler. This is what the trip's all about, just meeting up with friends and doing things we love, living simply. I'm filled with a lot of joy right now. This is pretty great. Found this lovely little clearing to camp in last night. Pulled up here in the dark, so I didn't really know what this looks like, but it's a nice little spot. Woke up this morning though to a bit of an issue.
Well, this is not good at all. This is very, very bad. Very bad. While driving, I've been trying to fill up the tire every hour and a half, 2 hours or so. But when I went to bed last night, I didn't fill it up through the night. And it is right flat on the rim. I'm really hoping that the tire is still seated. Yay, tire issues. It looks like the beat is still seated, which is really good because that means I can get it filled with air again. You can still hear a lot of air leaking out of the wheel, and I've got hours and hours of driving to do yet still. So I do not know how often that means I'm gonna have to stop and refill this tire. But I kind of took a gamble a little bit there, hoping that I could make it to the next city cluster, because I didn't want to stay up in middle northern Oregon, because this is happening over the weekend. So instead of waiting for new wheels to be shipped to where I was, I'm trying to ship them to where I'm going, and just hopefully that I can arrive there at the right time and actually get the van there. That is a lot of air coming out of that tire. That makes me a little nervous.
In the flames, you wanna step into the fire, only ashes will remain.
Okay, we've got a problem. My window of driving has been getting shorter and shorter. A 20-minute fill up to a 10-minute drive.
Getting lunch made, look at that, wow.
So currently, I've been getting about a 3-to-1 driving to fill up ratio, and the 3 is the filling up and the 1 is the driving. So for every 30 minutes of filling up the air, I get about 10 minutes of driving. The struggle is real. This is borderline becoming really frustrating, just because it's just not very fun doing this. I'm not enjoying it much at all, actually. So I was texting my buddy that I'm actually driving to meet up with today, and I was just letting him know that I'm behind schedule and it's gonna take me a minute. and he gave me an idea, which I wish I had had myself earlier, because it could have made this whole process a lot simpler. I've made it to the next kind of town area, and I was just checking on Google Maps, and it looks like there is indeed a Walmart in this town. Walmart! Woo-hoo! Okay, so hypothetically, this slime I should be able to put into my wheel, and it should seal up that little pinhole air leak. I jacked the van up a little bit because you have to pull the valve stem out, and I didn't want all that weight to be right onto the rim end. Valve stem is back in. About half of this bottle is now inside the tire. Okay, so it was doing the same thing there, where it wasn't really filling up past 50, 60 PSI, which is definitely a problem. We want to be able to get it up to 80 and preferably not lose too much. So I'm gonna drive some laps around the parking lot here, and hopefully just by moving that wheel, it'll slosh the sealant slime around inside the wheel itself. Okay, just drove around for around 10 minutes, just driving laps in the parking lot. Probably look like a crazy person. It's still making the sound. Crap. I can see a little bit of sealant has come through, but not enough to stop it. That is super frustrating. I wonder if I just try to pump more air in this thing. After another session of filling the tire, it is not holding air any better than it was before. I swear, one of the times that I turn on this camera today, I'm gonna have good news. But after about another 10 minutes of driving, it's still leaking air. Well, there's a lot more slime in there now. About enough technically for 2 tires according to the instruction label. I have about a 35% chance of hope that this will seal the hole, because it's now 3 p.m. in the afternoon, and the next 2.5 hours of driving will take me 2 to 3 times that amount, judging at my current rate of travel. At this point, honestly, I don't even know if I'm mad anymore. I'm just kind of severely annoyed that the trip is not really working out. It's just kind of frustrating when that happens. But I'm trying to be flexible, but there's places I've kind of got my heart set on going further south now and trying to see as many people as I can. And right now I'm kind of stuck in this like Groundhog Day style loop where I just drive 10 minutes and then pull over and fill up my tire. And I'm not even like fully relaxed, because as I'm driving, I'm just constantly checking my mirror to make sure that something funky isn't happening over there, and I'm just trying to keep an eye on it, so I'm never at any point driving with too low pressure. But yeah, I'm ready for this to be over today. It's almost sunset. That means I've spent the entirety of this day trying to travel what would have been a 3-hour drive this morning, and I have officially made it to Nevada. That is good news. I am so sick of this tire situation. I'm just done with it. Very ready to rest today and sleep well. So this should be my last and final fill up before I make it to Trent's place, which is just over there. Made it 5 minutes down the road. Need to fill up again. Hopefully this one is in fact the last one. That would make me happy. Trent's place is right there. I literally just have 2 minutes to go. What a day, the sun has set. I did not think this was gonna take me as long as it has. Right on. I have made it. So I've made it here to Reno. I'm at Trent's place. Hours have gone by since I last hit record. I've just been catching up with and getting to know Trent more. This is the first time we've been hanging out in person, kind of been internet friends for a while now, and to actually just sit down and chat is really life-giving. We're talking for about 4 hours, and it's really cool when you get to connect with other people that are in the process of trying to figure out how to make things that they enjoy, navigate the online world of building a YouTube channel and all the weirdness that is entailed in that. And there's something so refreshing about being able to actually talk with other people that are in it along with you. It's really cool being able to chat with fans and people that just consume and watch videos. I love connecting with people like that, but there's something about the camaraderie of someone else who is trying to navigate the creating of videos regularly and all the ups and downs of that journey. It's just really refreshing. And I think that's what the big theme of this whole road trip is going to be for me, is just being able to spend more face-to-face time with some other people that are in this creating journey. And boy, what a process it was getting here today. So I am thrilled to rest. But I'll make sure to take you along on some adventures with Trent in the next couple days, and it's just good to be here. So thanks for sticking around for this video. If you made it all the way to the end, congratulations. What a journey that was. And I hope I have some more good things in store for you coming up. So thanks for watching. I'll catch you in the next one. And remember, life's better when you make stuff. Peace.